Hello everybody and welcome to week 7 of our English composition class. I hope you're doing well. Congratulations on getting your second essay done, the definition essay. We're moving on to our major assignment for the semester. It's an assignment that every English composition class works on, the academic research paper. And this is going to involve you doing some research, and in presenting that research you're going to be designing an argument and advocating for a position. The theme of this summer's research essay, is an educational change that you would like to see implemented in either K through 12 or college education. So you're going to pick one thing that you would like to see changed, research and provide evidence to support why we should make this change as a country, and then discuss the effects of this change. Now, I've had a lot of different essays over the years with this assignment in mind. Sometimes people advocate for later start times. Certainly in today's world, advocating for some kind of virtual education is going to be an important thing as we move forward through the summer and into the fall. I've had writers advocate for bilingual education, music education, gym. I've had writers advocate for using local foods, changing where schools get food and how they serve food. So there's a number of things you can do. I would advocate you choosing something that you're passionate about, something that you're interested about, and that'll make the writing easier. It's a 5-page essay, so you're not going to be presenting a lot of evidence, but you certainly need to find at least 3 to 5 sources to support your ideas. And some of these sources should come from schools, examples of schools that already are doing what you're advocating. So for example, if you were advocating that every student who graduates high school should speak 2 languages, should be bilingual, then you want to find some schools maybe that are already doing that. And you're also going to want to find the benefits of that type of education. So think about it over the next few days, decide on a topic, and start doing some research. I want to give you some information on where you can go to find research, and then also what to do with that research once you're done. So let's talk about, first of all, how to present that research. We did summaries in a discussion assignment a few weeks back, and a lot of you did wonderful summary details and summary information. Some of you needed to work on your signal phrases. A signal phrase is a quick sentence that lets the reader know where the outside information is coming from. You need a signal phrase for whether or not you want to paraphrase, a summary, or a direct quote. Those are the 3 different ways to present information in a paper. Why do people use sources? Well, they use sources to provide support for their claims and to add credibility to your writing. You're certainly not an expert on what you're going to be arguing, but you can use experts and expert information to support your ideas. You want to give examples. Maybe call attention to a position that you agree or disagree with. That's a way that some writers forget they can use sources. You can present a source that you actually want to disagree with. Sometimes you might want to highlight a striking phrase or a sentence or a passage. Finally, it's going to help extend your ideas and expand the depth and breadth of your writing. So for a summary, we've done these already. You're taking information from a source and putting it in your own words. And the summary generally takes something much longer and boils it down to the essential ideas. So you might take an article that's 3 or 4 pages long and summarize it in a couple sentences. A paraphrase is more of a direct translation. You're taking a sentence from something and you're putting it in your own words in a sentence. So you're taking an idea or a concept and bringing that to your paper. You're not taking something large and reducing it. That's a summary. Paraphrase is taking a sentence and exchanging it for your own sentence. And finally, a direct quote, which a lot of people use, is just pulling a quote from a source and putting it in your paper. Whatever the case is, if you're using summary, paraphrase, or direct quotes, you want to tell the reader about them. You want to discuss them. You don't want to just present them and leave them. You should let the reader know what they should take away from it. So be ready to at least have a few sentences after a source to discuss what you wanted to, why you used the source, what point you wanted to make, what point you wanted to express. For a signal phrase, you need a couple things. You need an author's last name, you need an author's credentials, and a verb. And I always put the source title in there too. So the author's name, John Smith, reporter for the New York Times, states, that's my signal phrase. You don't always have to say said or says. There are a number of great verbs. You can find these on page 249 in Models for Writers. You can use a verb that actually points towards the author's intent. Maybe an author's making an argument in their source, and you want to use the word argues. You can also combine summary, paraphrase, and direct quote together. Here's an example of a signal phrase. How much higher skyscrapers of the future will rise than the present world marvel? The Sears Tower is unknown. However, the design of one twice as tall is already on the boards, and an architect, Robert Sobel, thinks we currently have sufficient know-how to build a skyscraper with over 500 stories. Bachman, 15. We've got a signal phrase, Robert Sobel. We've got the credentials, an architect, and then we have the author who wrote that, Bachman, on page 15. There are a lot of examples of models for writers on how to do source work, and I'd spend some time looking through the research assignment section of the book to find more information about that. This week for your discussion section, you're going to be finding sources for your argument. That's what you're going to be submitting. And to find those sources, you can go directly to SMCC's library website. How do you get there? I know that's a big question. Here we go. I clicked on My SMCC, and I'm going to log in. Make sure you log in, and then go to My Main Guide. And on My Main Guide, you'll find something called My Learning Library Resources. So I click on My Learning, go down to the library, find research sources, click on that, and this takes me to a great page where I can find books. Books are going to be harder to find right now because you don't have access to the library. So we're going to go to articles and databases. And the two databases, basically warehouses of information that I suggest using, are ProQuest and EBSCOhost. And you can use either. They're going to have newspapers, they're going to have journals, they're going to have magazines. They're going to have a lot of interesting stuff. And let's try ProQuest to start. Depending on if you use ProQuest or EBSCOhost, you can use these bars to find information. You can switch on them back and forth. Let's go to ProQuest and let's do benefits of physical education. Let's see what we can find there. Uh-oh. That didn't work, did it? Let's go back here. Let's try EBSCOhost. Alright. So we're on EBSCOhost now. We did not go to ProQuest because something was going on with that. But here we got, let's see what we have here, 86 different articles about the benefits of physical education. And there's a couple ways you can reduce those if you don't want to look through them all. First of all, you can choose to narrow the publication date. That was set from 1989 until 2019. Let's say I just want the last 10 years. So I'll go from 2009 to 2019, and we'll go from 86 to 49 articles. You also might want to find just magazines or academic journals or even particular publications. So you can click on any of these publications that are ones that you want to look at. Once you find something that is interesting to you, exploring the benefits of peer-tutored physical education program among high school students with intellectual disability, you can just click on the PDF full text and find the article right there for you. This is an interesting article for the subject matter. If I didn't want to do this, I can just go back and get back into my search. If I didn't want, I can also change the search terms. And you'll see, as that just happened, EBSCOhost will offer some suggestions. Let's try physical education in school. Let's see what happens here. Alright, we got 2,484 articles. That's a lot. Again, I can shrink the date. I can choose just to look at magazines or newspapers. I can look at the publication. So that's how you can search online for sources. Your sources don't have to come from EBSCOhost, but I would like to see at least one or two of them from one of the library databases. Of course, Google is always an okay place to search. If you're going to search in Google, I would always just search benefits of physical education newspaper. benefits of physical education magazines. There's some big newspapers out there, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, USA Today. Those might be places you can search as well. So, benefits of physical education, USA Today. Alright, this week you're going to be researching for your essay. There's also an essay to read that should help you just look how an author puts together source work. And there's a reading response for that as well. Any questions or concerns, please feel free to email me. And good luck with your source work this week. I hope you find stuff that you can use.